Let us explore how veganism could be the answer to your meditation problems. Whoops, having some technical difficulties. Please bear with me. I'm going to hopefully rectify it momentarily. Okay, sadly this recitation is going to require some editing, but such is life. If you have specific questions about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist philosophy, or Buddhist meditation, this is the ideal time to type them in the chat window. Real quick, like a bunny. Okay. Wrong button. Try that again. Here we go. Going to make sure this fits the... Let's try one more and see if that works. Cowabunga. Please chant with me. In late-stage capitalism, there are many who have a vested interest in keeping us locked in the frenzy of various iterations of the kill or be killed mindset. Gonna make sure that fits on the page. It doesn't. One, two, three, four, five, and reduce that to a 12. And copy. Good morning, Shivi. You had a question last night. This would be the great time to write that question so I can answer it for you. Am I right? I mean type. Let's chat. Come, let us wax subversive, for although the United Nations explained it would take it $6 billion to end world hunger, compassion is not an exclusive... Oopsie. Control Enter. All right. Let's go over here and hit paste and then delete. Please chant with me. Compassion is not an exclusive club with an entry fee or to drink minimum. In fact, some of the most compassionate things we could do merely involve our consumer choices. Let's hit this button and paste. 50% of the Buddha's Eightfold Path is comprised of love, kindness of intention, kindness of communication, kindness of conduct, and kindness of conduct. I forgot one. kindness of communication, kindness of conduct, and kindness of commerce. Together. There is nothing kind about using all consumer choices to coerce an underpaid worker, to exploit no less slaughter living beings because we want a snack. On average, worldwide every day, a vast ocean of sentient beings are murdered. More than, let's see, let's make sure that fits on the page. Okay. More than 900,000 cows, 1 million, oopsie, yes, 1,400,000 goats, 1,700,000 sheep, 3,800,000 pigs, 12 million ducks, 202 million chickens, 2 million ducks, 202 million chickens, and hundreds of millions of fish, each of them yearning to live and not die just like us. Okay, here we go. Through the convenience of a cruelty-free diet, we get to exercise greater compassion to the environment, to non-human animals. If we consume a whole food vegan diet to this very body which supports our meditation, together. And even though we could watch the video Dominion and 101 other videos to pull at our heartstrings, remember we are... Oopsie. Every time we put a rabbit and an apple in a playpen. The human child always pets the rabbit and eats the apple, for we are natural born herbivores. It is only our amygdala that makes us aggressive, and the more we authentically practice mindfulness and meditation, even as little as once every 12 hours or so, the more we'll calm the anxiety and aggression of our survival-oriented amygdala and stimulate the empathy of our anterior cingulate gyrus. This is why the Buddha taught mindful... Oopsie. Oh, coordination. This is why the Buddha taught mindfulness and meditation. Thank you so much for enduring my editing. I prefer to do it before class, but life can be messy. So what I'm going to do, quick like a bunny, before I go any further, is introduce myself. Let's see here. It is Qui-Gon Jinn Tuesday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after about 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation as only an autistic would. I've done all this so that I could become your nerdy, neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. A good-hearted person asked a question. I'm going to do my best to answer it. Let's see, I want to tap this button and go over here. Okay, so the brilliant and effervescent Shivi asked, if mind resides in the parasympathetic nervous system, does the ego too reside there, or is it a construct of the mind? Intelligent question, annoying answer. Brace yourself. So the first thing I'm going to do is Tap button 5. Whoops, that's not working. Okay, so let's go over here. That's 5. Okay, so let's go over here and start hunting for a visual aid. Behold, visual aids aplenty. So, our mind, as we understand it, resides in the entirety of our central nervous system, including the cerebral cortex, the cerebellum, the sympathetic nervous system, and the parasympathetic nervous system. Or to put it, or as they say back east, the the whole Megillah, perhaps the whole enchilada, because Megillah means something else. So, what is ego? Ego is just a word. Like all words, it means if you crack a dictionary, most words have multiple definitions. Ego sometimes is a part of, in the Freudian model of the brain, it's the mediator between the id and the superego. It represents the logical attempt to reconcile the two opposites of survival urges and altruistic desires. Um, the problem is lots of stupid white people translated the Buddha's teachings badly and then decided to get fancy and throw in some Greek words just to make sure everyone knew they were smart. But they weren't. So ego is a Greek word meaning self. And it's come to mean pride in conventional usage, which is dodgy because anytime we make something simple complicated, we make spiritual evolution more difficult. None of this is your fault. You're a good-hearted person simply using the terms they've heard or read. And I'm not trying to scold you or slap you upside the head with an aluminum baseball bat. I'm just trying to put things in perspective. Over the last few centuries, the teachings of Tilakana have become very popular, inducing people to actively contemplate stress and change and no self, or if you prefer the Pali, dukkha, anicca, anatta, which kind of sounds like it would be a good song. Anyway, the Buddha did not speak much about no self. And when he did, for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, he was speaking metaphorically. So think of it this way. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we are wired to cooperate with our sympathetic nervous system, which has evolved to help us to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly mind's antics of perception, emotion, attention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. Try fitting that on a business card. So we are wired to notice all sorts of things. And as we exhale, we are wired to automatically cooperate with the parasympathetic nervous system, which is wired to help us physically relax and mentally release. Due to a quirk in our evolution, 9 times out of 10, our cerebral cortex gets very, very controlling and tries to undermine the process. Way back when, in the late 70s, when I was in junior high, there was a kerfuffle in the White House, and someone low in the totem pole held a press conference and said, "Don't worry, I'm in control." Well, he was promptly fired for that. Our brain is very much like that. It steps in, it means well, it's not malicious, it's just due to a quirk of evolution, it does that. When we meditate, when during our silent and when we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we interrupt the habit energy of cooperation, I'm sorry, competition against, I should say, interrupt the habit energy of the cerebral cortex competing against the sympathetic nervous system and instead set space for cooperation, which is beautiful. Similarly, every time we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we interrupt the habit of our cerebral cortex to compete against our parasympathetic nervous system and instead open up space for these two to cooperate. Why have I said this? Why have I reviewed what you already know? Why have I insulted your intelligence? I've said all that to say this. As we relax and release during our, let me rephrase this. As we relax and release what we noticed during our previous inhalation, whatever we noticed could feel like it was less tantalizing. Whatever we noticed could feel like it was less permanent. Whatever we noticed could feel like it was less defining. That's all no self means. That as we cooperate with our body's tendency to relax into our exhalation, we will fleetingly break free of the spell we are under concerning that which we just perceived, a spell that inhibits our ability to release and relax and let go, a spell that accidentally inhibits us from being the peaceful, loving people that our dogs already think we are and that our cats earnestly wish we would be. So, contrary to the ravings of stupid white people, ego is not some villainous creature lurking in the shadows of the basement of our mind, trying to undermine our spiritual practice. Ego is just short for no ego. No ego is just short for the idea that as we relax into our exhalation, that which we perceive during our inhalation feels somewhat less defining, at least momentarily. Allow me to give you an example. Some people are born with certain primary sexual characteristics. They used to call it, I'm not sure what they call it now. If I've stepped on anybody's toes, I apologize. I mean no disrespect to my beautiful trans siblings. However, most of us are born with certain primary sexual characteristics, and we tend to identify ourselves with what we got between our legs. And when I was a little kid, damn it, I chose blue things and my sister chose pink things because some reason that's what our identity was all about. For whatever reason. And sometimes when we cling in a white-knuckled sense to an identity, sometimes it's beneficial, sometimes it's harmful, sometimes it's neither. But the more rigid we are, the more rigid we cling to anything, the less flexible we are. And that in itself is dangerous. It undermines our survival. It undermines our ability to survive. And if you forgive the pun, it also undermines our ability to thrive, to be happy, to be peaceful, to be loving. And so the whole no self is just a misunderstood way of explaining that if we cooperate with both facets of our autonomic nervous system, formally, at least once every 12 hours or so, will be more groovy. So many pseudo-intellectuals squander lifetimes wondering about the construct of a sense of self. That was never the Buddha's issue. Remember, the Buddha taught that one could master his path in as little as 7 days. I don't care how smart you are, you can't get a PhD in 7 days. So, therefore, we must conclude that the Buddha's path is simple. We don't have to worry about theory of mind. We don't have to worry about the genesis of personality. All we need to do is cooperate with the neurological ebb and flow of our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. If we cooperate, life will be spectacular. I hope that helps. And now, I think it could be fun. While we're here, I'm going to grab something and hit copy. Now, I'm going to tap button 9. Let us play with an iteration of Easy Tantra, also known as Tesar Ngondro, composed a long time ago by Gojam Lingpa, translated under the supervision of the late Chagdu Tulku, adapted and amplified by this MOOC right here. One moment, if you please. I get to check my resources because life can get messy once in a while. Okay, so quick like a bunny. Let's hit paste. And let's hit paste over here as well. Bear with me. I'm going to hit another paste thing right here. I'm going to hit reveal. It sounds terribly salacious, or delightfully salacious. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to hit copy. And then going back to the text at hand. And I'm going to hit paste. And now we're ready for our practice. So allow me to remind you this, that when we rest the tip of our left index finger, I need to make sure I can see what I'm doing on camera because sometimes I get turned about. Here we go. Let us rest the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of its left index finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce at the crown of our head. And again, we're going to hit paste, and then I'm going to blather. We come now to Tikle's bliss and or Tikle, or the practice of bliss and letting go, calling the Lama from afar, known in Tibetan as Lama Kieno. This is simply a metaphoric way of invoking subtle energies to coalesce at our crown in a way that facilitates letting go. Together, let us recite this in a very mellow way, relaxing with each recitation over for the neck for 28 breaths. O Majo Lama, please come to this crown, O infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. O Majo Lama, please come to this crown, O infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. Now, quick like a bunny. Going to strive to adjust this. O Majo Lama, please come to this crown. O infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. O Majo Lama, please come to this crown. O infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. O Majo Lama, please come to this crown. O infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. O Majo Lama, please come to this crown. O infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. Quick tip, this is not a step to something else. This is an end unto itself. Just enjoy the process hedonistically. O Majo Lama, please come to this crown. O infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. O Majo Lama, please come to this crown. O infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. O Majo Lama, please come to this crown. In fact, I'm going to do another edit. Please bear with me. O Majo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. O Majo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. O Majo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. The secret is to physically relax as best we can, as softly we whisper these three lines. O Majo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. O Majo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. O Majo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. O Majo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. O Majo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. O Majo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. Almajo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. Almajo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. Almajo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. Almajo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. Almajo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. Almajo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. Almajo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. Almajo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. Almajo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. Almajo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. Almajo Lama, infallible constant protector who knows all Dharma things. So what happens next is very simple. As we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, passively we notice mind's antics. As silently and mentally we recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we relax into mind's non-graspable nature. It's just that easy. Let's continue. Please bear with me. One moment, if you please. This is an editing day, so I want to go to the green. So I'm going to do that real quick. Let's go over here. And hit copy. And hit paste. And one moment again. And hit copy. And hit paste. Let us rest the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger, upon the tip of our left little finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. Centered spontaneity is key to making the most of our precious meditation opportunities. Together. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. Remember to physically relax as best you can into the recitation. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. So the couple sporting in tantric union is emblematic of centered spontaneity. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. It is extremely difficult to find such freedom and opportunities as we have. Again, as we inhale, let us vulnerably notice mind's antics. As we exhale, let us relax into its non-graspable nature. Let's continue. Again, I must hunt for a specific object. Sounds very dramatic when I put it that way, does it not? I'm going to hit copy and paste. Searching for another bit. All right, I'm going over here and I'm going to paste that bit right there. Here, I'm going to hit add to dictionary. I'm going to take this creepy image, this Tim Burton-esque image, make sure it fits on the screen, and do a bit of talking. But first, allow me to remind you that when we rest the tip of our left ring finger upon its thumb, and then rest our left hand upon its thigh, we gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce in the navel region of our mid-abdomen. Ever-changing one and all, there is nothing permanent to grasp, for change makes of clinging an absurdity. And so these two skeletons doing the hibbity-dibbity remind us of the inevitability of change. Being impermanent, everyone who is born will die. Being impermanent, everyone who is born will die. Captain Sunshine, at your service. Being impermanent, everyone who is born will die. 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 Being impermanent, Everyone who was 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 born will die. Let us rest the mind. Or to put it in another way, during each inhalation, let us vulnerably notice the antics of mind. During each exhalation, let us relax into mind's non-graspable nature. Or I should say, let us relax into what feels like mind's non-graspable nature. One moment whilst I hunt and peck on another document. paste, cut, paste, adjust. Let's make sure this fits. Excellent. Allow me to remind you, what we're going to do is a little bit kind of like finger origami, so bear with me. Let us rest the tip of each of our 4 fingers upon the great knuckle of our right hand. And let us rest this palms up in our lap. Let's see here what I want to do. I'm going to tap button 9. This could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce in the region of our throat that feels like it tightens prior to weeping. Allow me to remind you that the privilege of interdependence is that it can allow our love to lighten others' loads. The results, remember to relax into the recitation. The results of our beneficial and harmful actions are inevitable. The results of our beneficial and harmful actions are inevitable. The results of our beneficial and harmful actions are inevitable. So let's rephrase this again, and let's replace this with the word kind. Because my intention is to reduce neurosis. The results of our kind and harmful actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and harmful actions are inevitable. Every boy knows the abject horror of making their partner cry. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. The results of our kind and cruel actions are inevitable. During our inhalation, let us passively notice mind's antics. During our exhalation, let us relax into mind's non-graspable nature. Thank you. So, quick like a bunny, I'm going to reach again to another text. I'm kind of using the other text as a palette, if you will. And now I'm going to hit copy. And I'm going to hit paste. Returning to the palette text. And to the canvas text. Well, that's weird, isn't it? Okay, let's go back over here. Okay. This is going to be a bit of review. When we touch the tip of our left index finger to its thumb, and then rest our left hand upon its thigh, we invite our subtle energies to... We gently invite our subtle, real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce at the crown of our head. The vulnerability of allowing ourselves to empathetically notice others' stress sows the seeds of empathy and compassion and love. So as we recite these 3 lines 28 times, let us take our time and relax as best we can during each recitation. This is not a sprint, this is a meander. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. So give yourself permission to notice the very ugly, sad things. To notice sexism, to notice racism, to notice homophobia, to notice transphobia, to notice classism, to notice exploitation, to notice fascism, to notice jingoism, to notice genocide, to notice ecocide. Let us vulnerably notice this, that it, like the fertilizer that benefits the crop, might cultivate our empathy. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. 3 realms just is a cryptic reference to the form, the formless, and the desire realm, the form realm, and the formless realm. Regardless of how spiritual we are, we still experience stressors. Some circumstantial, some physical, some interpersonal, some mental. No amount of self-talk can alleviate that. There are stressors. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycles are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms we experience as samsara's cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The three realms we experience as samsara cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The three realms we experience as samsara cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The three realms we experience as samsara cycle are like an ocean of suffering. The three realms we experience as samsara cycle are like an ocean of suffering. We now prepare for one of the final bits of this early morning's practice. Oh, yes, by all means. How foolish of me. During our inhalation, let us, as we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this, let us vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics. During our exhalation, let us relax into what can very much feel like mind's non-graspable nature. So I'm turning to the palette text. I now return to the canvas text. Allow me to remind you that when we touch the tip of our left middle finger to its thumb, and then rest our left hand upon its thigh, we gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce at the heart region of our chest. So that's an excellent question. Yes, veganism is superior to vegetarianism. For veganism, it relies on less exploitation. For instance, vegetarianism will make use of eggs and milk. However, any zoologist will tell you that a mammal only lactates to feed their calf. The milk is the property of the cow. Let's not exploit. Let us choose to be compassionate. In nature, when a hen lays an unfertilized egg, it creates a great drain in her physiology. Therefore, in nature, once a hen recognizes that her egg is unfertilized, she will peck it and eat it, and thus replenishing some of the biological price she had to pay to produce it. So just as the body of the hen belongs to the hen, so does the egg. Just as the flesh of a cow belongs to a cow, so does the milk. It's just a question of greater empathy and compassion and information. Most children have an epiphany growing up that they'd rather not rely on the killing of animals. And most children are rebuked for that. And then in adulthood, once humans experience a bit of freedom from the parents' tyranny, they then have the freedom to explore a more compassionate lifestyle. So let's continue. The key to meaningfully benefit all others is to master the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Let us physically relax as best we can while reciting 24 repetitions of this triplet. Remembering this, may my mind turn toward Dharma. Dharma is just a fancy word for Buddha's teachings. Remembering this, may my mind turn toward Dharma. Remembering this, may my mind turn toward Dharma. Remembering this, may my mind turn toward Dharma. My friend, you are utterly welcome. Sadly, I don't know how to read the Cyrillic alphabet. Could you tell me how to pronounce your name? Remembering this, may my mind turn toward Dharma. 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 During our inhalation, look at that. During our inhalation, Let us passively notice mind's antics during our exhalation. Let us physically relax into mind's non-graspable nature. Okay, I'm going to search this text now. I'm going to hit the end, see where that takes me. I'm going to hit copy. Going back to page 26. And hit paste. Copy. Paste. Again, let us rest the tip of our left index finger upon its thumb and rest our left hand upon its thigh, thus gently inviting our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce upon the crown region of our head. Okay, let's see if this fits. That is really weird. I think I know how to fix that. Gonna see if that helps. Seems to. And let's verify. Yay. Okay. So this is the final recitation of this morning's practice. Without hindrance, may I ensure enormous benefit for all beings. Without hindrance, may I ensure enormous benefit for all beings. Without hindrance, may I ensure enormous benefit for all beings. Without hindrance, may I ensure enormous benefit for all beings. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 8.5 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.